Peace, Black family. So I haven't done a reading in a while, and today I will be reading from one of my favorite white supremacist books, The Turner Diaries. Now, a lot of people jokingly write me in my DMs and they say things like, "Brother Hassan, you must be a psychic." But the reality of the situation is that I study the white supremacists. I read their literature. This is how I was able to predict the whole storming of the Capitol. I was able to predict how COVID was going to play out for black people because I study the system of racism and white supremacy. Moreover, I study their literature. And again, today I will be reading from the book, The Turner Diaries, which is, in my opinion, one of the greatest white supremacist works of all time. Now, there are other books that I have mentioned that people should be reading. I've been talking about this on social media for quite some time. So let's get into it. So for social media purposes, I can't read everything in this book verbatim because it's very detailed and very graphic. But I will say that this book is responsible for sparking a lot of the things that take place in white supremacy culture. And again, if you understand their culture, then you can kind of predict what they're going to do next. So let me go into this part right here where it says, early last year, we began putting a number of members unknown to the political police into police agencies and various quasi-official organizations, such as the Human Relations Council. They serve as our early warning network and otherwise keep us genuinely informed of the system's plan against us. So this goes into this article, obviously displayed here, that shows that white supremacist organizations have infiltrated police departments. And a lot of this white supremacist rhetoric comes from these books. This is why it's important that we read these books so we are not caught off guard. Now, this portion of the book goes into Dr. Frances Cress Welsing's theory that she wrote in the ISIS papers about white people's fear of genetic annihilation through the black male phallus. It says right here, nowadays, gangs of black thugs hang around parking lots and school playgrounds and roam the corridors of office buildings and apartment complexes looking for any attractive, unescorted white girls. Now, if you go to, as you see posted above, when Dylann Roof was caught for unaliving those 9 black people in Charleston, South Carolina, one of the things that he said and why he had to do it is because black people were unaliving white people and that black men were SAing white women, right? So this goes into Dr. Frances Cress Welsing's theory of white genetic annihilation, the fear of them being wiped out by the black man being intimate with white women. And a lot of these attacks, if you read these manifestos that these white supremacists be writing, they write in there about interracial dating and how it impacts the white race. So oftentimes a lot of us are confused when these white supremacists, they go on sprees and they hurt other white people. But what we have to understand is white supremacy is a religion. And if it means unaliving other white people to maintain white supremacy, they will do that. Okay? And it says right here, each day we make decisions and carry out actions which result in the unaliving of white peoples, many of them innocent of any offense which we consider punishable, because a much greater harm will ultimately befall our people if we fail to act now. And as you can see above in the photo, that was what the Oklahoma City bombing was about. These people will not hesitate to hurt their own people to maintain the system of racism, white supremacy. Not only that, a lot of these white supremacists look forward to becoming martyrs. They look forward to becoming a part of pop culture to be talked about 20 and 30 years down the line. As it says right here in this part of the book, I regret that I won't be around to participate in the final success of our revolution, but I am happy that I have been allowed to do as much as I have. I will have been able to play a more vital role than all but a handful of them in determining the ultimate destiny of mankind. Even the storming of the Capitol comes straight off the pages of the Turner Diaries, where it says clearly right here, today has been the day of the rope, a grim and bloody day, but an unavoidable one. And when they stormed that Capitol looking for Congress members and people in the Senate, their thing was going to be to unalive them by those gallows. As you can see in the photo above, this is what they were planning on doing. If they would have got some of those politicians alive, it would have been the day of the ropes. And I say all that to say, please get these books, download them on PDF, because the more we know about white supremacy and the more we know what their next moves are, the more we can counter their moves. Knowledge is power, and we just can't stand around and be sitting ducks waiting to be the next victims of racism, white supremacy. Again, knowledge is power, so arm yourselves.